Hi, Niki Duffy here, founder of the Fabulous Life program. And so, have you got a word of the year 2023? Now, if you've never come across this idea of having a word, it's a little bit like target setting, goal setting, but it's more expansive, or at least I find it more expansive. And I do the target setting as well, which of course you may know that I have a free masterclass coming up, where we will be doing a deep dive on making 2023 fabulous, and creating your roadmap in that free masterclass. And that's I'll be doing that on the 1st of January, and it's completely free. It's online Zoom, and I'll pop a link in the comments once I'm done here. So thanks so much for coming to join me. And do you have a word of the year? Have you come across that concept? What was your word of the year 2022? And how did that work out for you? Did you choose one? And so my word of the year last year, 2022, was we're still in it. It's the last few days of it. Um, so that was the very first year, I think, that I chose a word of the year. Um, I might have done it before, but I've forgotten. But anyway, it was the biggest year that I've done it. It was the one where I've really, kept that word in my front of mind awareness throughout so much of what I've done in the year. And that's what word of the year is all about. It's about allowing that word, choosing a word that has the energy of what you would like to create for that year, that a word that inspires you, or it excites you for that year ahead, that maybe encapsulates what you would like to create, who you would like to be, what you would like to achieve in that year ahead. So I'm just gonna have a quick look. There we go. And yeah, just checking on my phone to see if so I can see any comments that are coming up. Yeah. Okay, so do comment if you're watching this live. Fabulous. I'll be looking out for your comments. Do say hi if you're watching live, and if you have any questions, or that you'd like to ask, whether you're live or if you're watching this on replay, put hashtag replay, and do put your questions, do put your comments in, because I will come back and respond in the comments, because I know this might not be a great time for everyone to jump on live. Yeah, so my word of the year. So last year was the first time that I really engaged with playing with this. Hey Liberty, good to see you. Thanks for joining live. Yeah, so 2022 was the first year that I really engaged with playing with this word of the year thing. And um and my word of the year 2023 was lead. And for me, that was all about being a leader in my own life, being a leader, being more of a leader in my business, in my life, in my finances, taking more of a lead, rather than, maybe sitting back, or just like really grabbing on to the front position, to really making sure that if something's going to happen, then being willing to be the forefront person that creates that. That's what the word, my word of the year, lead, meant to me. And that was why I chose it, because I kind of felt that that maybe I've been taking more of a back seat in my life, and I could have like moved forward more dynamically and chosen more directly as more of a leader, and taking the lead in what I desired to create, and taking the lead in who I desired to be around, or to attract into my life, taking more of a lead on that. So your word of the year, it could be business focused, and I enjoy it when it's more personal, and because you as a person, you take yourself wherever you go, whatever you do. So whether it's in your business, you are there too. Whether it's in your relationships, you are there too. Whether it's in your finances, you are there too. So I like the idea of playing with a personal word, rather than like maybe a business word, or because I see my choosing my word for me as feeding into all of those different areas. And what's Liberty's saying? She said, hi, I'm not the biggest fan of words of the year, but the energy of kindness is popping. Oh, I like that. Yes, and yes, like words and energies can be you know much more expansive. If you could choose the energy of the year that you would like to have most forefront, or yeah, just choosing an energy. And it doesn't have to be for the whole year, because when I said choosing the energy of the year, choosing the energy sounded expansive, and then when I added of the year, it kind of like locked it down a bit. So go with what's fun for you. And yes, whether it's words, whether it's energies, or whatever it is for you that lights you up, so I like the idea of the word of the year as for me, because I love words as well, and I love the energy of words, um and different words have different meanings to different people, so it's whatever works for you. Yeah, so when I chose the word lead for 2022, it was kind of it's kind of like a masculine word. It's kind of like out there, go get them, which was very different from for me, and the types of words, the types of energies that I've chosen to be in the past. And that was one of the key things, which um which was the point for me for choosing that word lead, because it was something different for me, um to really um overall take on the leadership of my life. I'd done it in various areas of my life before, to varying degrees. When my children were very young, I was dynamically the leader of the family. I very much um leading where I had the vision of leading where I wanted the family to go, how I wanted my children to grow up. Hi Vivian, great to have you live. We're talking about word of the year, and I'm just talking about my word of the year for 2022 was lead, and has been lead, because I was more wanted to take more of a leadership, and almost like taking the ball, taking life by the horns kind of energy, that was what I was desiring for at the beginning of this year, and that's why I chose it. So have you chosen a word of the year? Is word of the year something that you play with or interests you, or you know, what works for you. Um, so my word, you know, and sometimes it kind of took a bit of uh like sensing into it this time last year, when I was like playing with the possibilities of like, do I want a word of the year, and if I do, what will it be? And then it came to me, lead, and it scared me a little bit. and there's a saying that when, you know, when you're setting your goals, if they don't scare you, then you're not choosing big enough, or setting your targets, if it doesn't, if it doesn't scare you a little bit, if it doesn't excite you, if it doesn't thrill you, and it doesn't make you go, oh, is that a bit much, is that a bit too big, then are you really choosing big enough? Are you stretching yourself enough? And yeah, Liberty's saying, yeah, leads very masculine energy and action. Yes. Yeah. And so what has the word of the year 2022? What has that, what do I feel it's created for me? So and how is it? So I've felt that I've been much more of a leader, much more of a I want to say, like, kind of warrior leader in my finances, rather than in the past. I kind of like, yeah, choosing to, you know, it's kind of a little bit whiny with my finances, in my not quite stepping up into that taking control, taking action, maybe a little bit, but this year 2022, um, I've really felt like I have taken the lead in my finances, and have been willing to, like, okay, let's go there, let's look at this, let's be real with this. What do I want to create? What do I need to choose in order to make that happen? You know, what else is possible here? What presence can I be? What awareness with my finances? What level of presence and awareness do I really need to choose to be, to create more of what I desire? And I've really, like, embraced that, and gone with that. Sorry, I've got an alarm that's just turning that off on my phone, or else that's going to keep buzzing. Yeah, alarm to remind me, remind me to choose more and be more in the finances. So how is that? You know, I really feel like I have been more taken on more of a leadership role in my own personal finances, and in the finances of my business, and the multiple streams of income that I have coming in, rather than kind of in the past, it's kind of been a bit of a pitter patter and a maybe and an if, and like, oh yes, that's nice kind of thing. This year I've been much more dynamic with it, and much more direct, and as I said, more present and aware, and more willing to look at who and what I was required to be, to really move forward in with my finances in the direction, and money in the direction that I would like it to go. So so how has that shown up? So I have I've so I've made huge leaps and bounds in my personal finances, and I have created um, some really fun and tangible, a real sort of like, I just feel really tangible ways of generating income and creating wealth. So I feel like now I have more of um, a platform for wealth from what I've created this year. I've done different courses. I've looked into, you know, I've been more present with taxes, and I've been willing to look at the UK tax laws and how can I use that to my advantage? How can my business use that to my advantage? You know, what do I need to be aware of about taxes, instead of like being on the back foot with like, oh, HMRC, you know, they're wanting this, they're wanting that. I've been more willing to take a lead in being proactive and looking at what was required by the tax office, and how to create that and how to make that work for me, how to use the legitimate tax laws and tax benefits to my advantage, instead of, in the past I've kind of allowed the tax, I've kind of lost out on tax benefits because I haven't been willing to take a lead in it. So that's one area. Another area is I've chosen to study stocks and shares, and I've really taken a proactive lead in that, and I found a fabulous mentor in the stocks and shares and the market. So that was where I needed to be personally, for me to like really get a grasp of what the stocks and shares are all about, and how I can use stocks and shares to expand my wealth, and really grow my finances, and build on build build a future that has money in it, as well as a present that has money in it as well. So that's been surprisingly fun as well. And Vivian's saying, last year I created a business, this year I'd like to keep doing it, but not by the point of view that other vendors are having to be stressed and hassling instead of having fun. I want to have more fun with it. Yes, yes, I like it. And yeah, you know, I like that idea of fun and the energy of fun, and bringing that with you through the 2023, through the year. And yeah, whether you choose your word to be fun, or you just choose to infuse what you do throughout the year with the energy of fun, how would that be for you, Vivian? So yeah, and fun is something that I that is valuable to me as well. And fun is something that I've noticed that um whatever it is I'm doing, like I was saying about the taxes, I had to find a way of um investigating the UK tax system that was fun for me. I had to find a way of making that fun for me, or else I knew I wouldn't do it. Um, or I might do some of it, but then forget about it. So yeah, fun is a hugely important thing. And in the stocks and shares that I was talking about, having Ben as my mentor, he is so much fun to be around, and he knows so much, and it's so much fun for me to be able to pick his brains and say, Ben, what about this stock, what do you think, is now a good time, what do you know? So and it's so that's a way of making it fun for me. So yeah, I agree. So Vivian's saying, you're touching on these points of business and tax breaks that I sometimes do not see and I'm willing to look at. Cool. Yeah. Yes. So and there's no wrongness, you know, for many years I wasn't willing to look at the taxes and the UK tax system, and that meant that I was frequently being fined for not following the rules and regulations of the tax system. Oh goodness. And you know, interesting choice for me. So yeah, so lead has been my word, and it's created a lot for me in 2022, and I'm surprised at how much it has actually created. And I'm surprised at how, what a contribution the having the word lead as my word of the year, um how much of a contribution that has been to me. And one of the other things that it has created is has meant that I've looked at things that I wanted to do, um for many years. I sort of had on a back burner, had as an idea of like, yeah, one day I'll do that. Oh, maybe one day I'll do that. And I it be having lead as my word, it kind of made me push forward and look at, is this a one day thing or is this a now thing? Um, am I saying one day because I don't actually want to do it, or am I saying one day because um, I I'm holding myself back from doing it for one reason or another? So really taking a leadership in looking at what I was choosing to do, and also what I wasn't choosing to do, what I was choosing by not doing, by not choosing. Um, so that's been an interesting exercise and illumination, and has given me more insight and awareness into how how I try and trick myself into not doing stuff, and it's helped me catch myself, and just be aware of what I'm doing, because when you're aware of when you're trying to wimp out of things, or when you're trying to trick yourself into not doing stuff, then 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 you have choice. But with that awareness, you can then choose, and you can, like, okay, well, maybe I'm wimping out because it doesn't really interest me that much, or you can then make choices, and it gives I've found it's given me much more of a expansive way of being, and more to play with, more to play with. So yeah, so one this is the last thing I'm going to say on my word lead this year, and how having the word lead has led me to a whole new opening up, a whole new area of interest, which has been so much fun for me, and so eye-opening, and so challenging and interesting and exciting and financially rewarding, and enriching as well, enriching my life in on many levels. It's meant I've interacted with people that I wouldn't normally have access to. It's meant I've interacted with um some people who push my buttons more than I would normally interact with those kind of people, and and in doing so, it I've had to learn fresh ways of being, and fresh um, ways of using tools, and managing myself and expanding myself and playing with possibilities. Um, so this word lead has created this whole expansive area of my business that I've been saying that I wanted to move into, or work with, for many years, but I'd not actually taken action on, and I'd not done a whole lot with. I'd kind of sat back and hoped somebody else would approach me. So the area is working with young people, teenagers, and also, and with in working with teenagers who have been traumatized. So using my skills and talents and tools, um, to support young people, teenagers, in helping them, giving them tools to expand their lives beyond trauma, beyond um, some of the horrific stuff that they may have been through, and giving them um, different possibilities rather than what the statistics and projections um, are currently were currently offering them. So that's been an area that I've been wanting to work in for many years, and now since September, I got my first contract working with young people, and also within the working with young people. So I work with it's about 13 to 17-year olds, and in that work with those working directly with the young people, not only do I get to interact with the young people, and I'm learning so much from these amazing individuals and the interactions that we have, and supporting them in offering them different possibilities and different ways of responding and interacting with the world, and in their lives. I'm learning so much from them. And also within the working with them, there is also all the things and the people and the laws and rules and regulations and policies and there's a whole like myriad of things and people and adults and social workers and care workers at all kinds of institutions and everything that I'm also interacting with, and and if I hadn't taken more of this word lead in 2022, this more leadership role in my own life, um, I wouldn't have. I don't feel like I would have chosen this, and it's been so expansive and financially rewarding, as well as enriching my life in so many other ways. So, what is your word of the year? What word would you choose? If you were choosing a word, what might it be? I'd love to know in the comments, whether you're watching live or in the replay. Do put in the comments um, what if you had a word for 2022, and if you were choosing a word for 2023, what would it be? So my word 2023. Now this might seem really, really obvious to a lot of people. My word is choice, choosing. I'm not sure if it'll be choice or choosing, but it might be choosing, because choosing such a doing word. Choosing is such a expansive word. It's a word in motion. It's a word in motion. So it'll probably be choosing. Yeah, and considering my business is called Choosing for Today, it might be like so obvious to people that of course I would choose a word like choosing, or you know, but it just came to me, choosing more dynamically. So because 2023 I am choosing a lot, and I have a lot that I desire to choose, desire to create, desire to actualize in 2023 and beyond. And I'm very excited for this upcoming year, and I'm getting even more um enjoyment out of choosing, even more of a thrill from the what choices we do have, and how valuable our choices truly are, and what a difference each choice that we make can have in our lives and the lives of the people around us. Because your choice in every moment creates your world, creates your life. So my word 2023 is choosing, and it's all about choice. And if you would like to create more for 2023 and make 2023 even more fabulous, then do join me in a free masterclass that I'm doing. I'm doing it on the 1st of January, New Year's Day, 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time. We're going to have an hour's free deep dive into making 2023 fabulous. So at the end of the masterclass, you will have um, a roadmap, a roadmap of how, giving you stepping stones of how you can create your 2023 to be your kind of fabulous, choosing your 2023 your way. So if you do join me with that, I would love it if you would join me with that, and I'll put a link in the comments. And if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions, or anything you would like to add to anything I've said today, pop it in the comments and I will read them, even if you're on watching the replay. And I do look forward to seeing your comments and interacting with you again soon. Bye for now.